Hi everyone, welcome to the first Math Strategies video. Today we'll be focusing on multiplication and specifically with the area model strategy for multiplication. As you can see, I have this very fancy poster behind me, and we're going to be going through how to get from this down to this using the area model strategy. Before we get into the actual strategy, I wanted to explain why we're teaching area model in today's math. So if you're like me, you probably learned multiplication using the algorithm strategy. Now, this isn't a terrible strategy, but when we're first teaching multi-digit multiplication and we're just using algorithm, there's not a lot of explanation with it. We probably learned you go up to the diagonal, you carry things, you add things, but why? So we can use this strategy once students are proficient in understanding number distribution, place value, what makes up a number, and so we use other strategies like area model to help with that. And if you can see with area model, we are breaking numbers up into their place value, the tens, if it is a 3-digit, the hundreds, and then showing just what makes up each of those digits that you are multiplying together. So let's get started with our first problem. For this example, I'm going to use a 2-digit by 2-digit equation. At the end, I'll do an extension for if it's 3-digit by 2-digit or even 2-digit by 1-digit, just so you can see the different ways to solve it. So we have 32 times 18. First, we are going to look at 32. We are going to break this number up into its place value. And for that, we're going to think about what 10's number plus what 1's number makes up 32. So that would be 30 plus 2. Write out 30 plus 2 just like this. We want to kind of space it out. You'll see why, or you can see in the background why. We're going to be making boxes with it. Now we're going to be looking at 18. 18, breaking it apart, or I do the expanding, stretching it out. 10's number would be 10 plus our 1's number, 8. So 10 plus 8. The area model is going to look like this. There are 4 boxes because there are 4 numbers we're going to be multiplying. Now at the end, I will show you the extension of if you have less digits or more digits that you're multiplying. So now what we're going to do, we're going to go with our 2 outside numbers, 10 and 30, and multiply them together. Then we'll go from 10 to 2, then we'll go 30 to 8, and finally 8 to 2. Now you're saying, why are we taking all this time to multiply? These are a lot easier to multiply because we've broken them down into either smaller digits or those friendly 10 numbers. So go ahead and do that part next. Your child struggles with kind of thinking about large number multiplication. This is a great way to teach the power of 10. So if you're looking at 10 and 30, we would cover up those zeros and multiply 3 times 1. We know it's 3. And then how many zeros were in both these numbers? We have 2 total. So we'd have our 3 plus our 2 zeros. That is a great way to just kind of take the overwhelmed, like I have to think about 30 times 10 and break it down even more. So to kind of go forward, I have all of my answers inside the boxes. Now what we're going to do is add up all those answers. I would highly suggest starting with your largest answer and working your way down to your smallest answer. After we did all of the adding, we came up with our total of 576. So if you did use algorithm, you should get the same answer. And normally in my class, if kids really like using algorithm, I will have them check their work by solving it a second time with the algorithm strategy. Now, I know some of you may say, this took a lot longer than algorithm, but remember, the whole point of this is for students to visually see and break apart numbers into their place value so that they are easier numbers to work with and so that they're understanding conceptually how they are solving multiplication problems. So coming up next, I will show you what this looks like with a 2 by 1 digit problem, and then I'll show you what it looks like with a 3 by 2 digit problem. If we were multiplying a 2 digit by a 1 digit, what we would do is the same process as before. We are stretching it out in its place value. So our 19 would be 10 plus 9, and then our 7, it's only in the ones, so it remains 7 below. Then we'd have our 2 boxes, we'd multiply, and then add those results. If we're multiplying a 3 digit by a 2 digit, we're still going to break it up just like normal in its place value. So 162 would be 100 plus 60 plus 2, and then our 21 would be 20 plus 1. Yes, there are a few more boxes, but you're still able to break apart these numbers into smaller or easier numbers with the power of 10, and we can easily multiply these and then we add them all together. In our first video, we had a riddle, and a few people texted me, and it was a really easy riddle. So this one's going to be a little bit tougher, and I want to go back. So the riddle from yesterday was: a cowboy rides into town on Friday, stays for 3 days, and leaves on Friday. How did he do it? So the answer is the cowboy's horse is named Friday. All right. So here's a little bit harder one, and it's a math one. Cool. I am an odd number. Take away a letter, and I become even. What number am I? So the answer to that will be in our next video, and Ziggy will reveal the answer to the next one. All right, take care.